Hello and welcome to Control-Alt-Record. My name is Chris, and with you for this episode is Brett. Grax won't be joining us this week, but we do have a returning member to this episode. He is as scarce as the content in Sea of Thieves. It is Michael. Please welcome him back. Of course, if you do like tonight's episode, please jump onto iTunes and give us a rating and a review, and also check out our other channels such as Facebook, Twitter. If you're on Facebook, just search for our name, Control-Alt-Record. Twitter, you'll find us at the @ symbol, CTRLALT record, and of course YouTube, search for us there as well. You'll find all the links to those items or those things in the description of this episode. Do have a great show for you, but no second music bit for you this week. We're actually just going to go straight into the show, chop and change it up a little bit. So Dell, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Dell are actually promoting cheating for PUBG. We all know that's a bit of a problem. For the Chinese market, it's quite heavily criticized as the Chinese are actually cheating their way through PUBG, and Dell are actually now actively promoting this. So
are they?
Yeah. So recently, Dell were promoting their new, or they've revealed their 8th gen processors in China.
No, yeah, they don't make processors, do they? Isn't it Intel?
Is it Intel or is it Dell? Hang on, did I read this right? Hang on.
Dell don't make processors, I can tell you that.
Are you allowed to just so openly accuse an entire country of being cheaters? Is that legal?
Well, that's what Chris is doing.
Well, that in this particular,
that's not what I'm doing.
In this particular article,
Okay,
sounds
well,
racist
quote the
to
article.
me.
Don't say you're saying. Yeah, don't say that you're saying it. Quote the article.
So this is an article from PC Power Play that I came across, and so what they're sort of saying is, no, sorry, here it is, Intel. Intel's big reveal.
Oh my god,
Dell, Intel, it's basically the same thing.
Same thing.
Something to do with computers.
I think maybe it was at a Dell event or something like that. So they've revealed their new 8th gen processors, and this was one of the things that in the Chinese market they use or promote is so this was actually the Dell.
Sorry, can I just interrupt quickly? Those processors came out in like October or November of last year. So you're kind of saying it like they're brand new, or they've just revealed them. Sorry,
this is the article that I'm reading.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Sorry.
So
question PC Power Play.
So
it is a dodgy story, because why is Intel promoting their processors at a Dell event? How does that work?
Well, because Dell use Intel.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh, okay.
That could be.
So
I know that
they
I think
like Nike
what it probably is Dell
shows that
Dell have recently come out with their new XPS processors carrying the 8th gen Intel processors in them. So that might be what it is.
Okay.
And that's just
that
off the top of my head, Chris. I haven't even done any research on this.
No, but you know this. You know the hardware side of things better than me. But anyway, the point that I want to get to is a Dell spokesman or spokesperson. Sorry, I should reiterate. Spokesperson Sally Zhang.
Is that another?
I'm hitting all.
That's terrible.
I know.
Chris does not represent the views of Control-Alt-Record.
No, this is PC Power Play.
Is that your PC Power Play? So
PC
they're both
Power Play.
racist and misogynistic. Interesting. Very interesting.
So this is a particular thing that they had to say, because one thing that the Chinese market uses plugins into their games and these additional things. So this is what we're quickly going to read. This is what the has been quoted here in the PC Power. So Sally Zhang has spoken about how Chinese gamers are the most innovative and dominant in the world by using plugins. For example, to run faster than other players or to blow up 10 cars at a time. These top gamers can really use, this is the spokesperson saying, they can actually really use the 8th gen power to run more plugins to win more chicken dinner. That's a quotation from the Dell spokesperson.
Fuck them.
And that the top players run most plugins, so that's where the 8th gen Dell power gives the gamers the edge. So, and at the time of this particular conference, they actually had, very proudly they're saying in this particular article, a video behind Sally Zhang showing all the different ways of how you can use these plugins to improve your gaming sort of performance. But all the plugins are around sort of making your character move faster and, like I say, sort of blowing up more things at once. And so it really does sort of look like after this that Dell are coming out in the Chinese market to promote the power of the 8th gen. Intel, sorry, whatever.
You mean Intel?
Well, no, the Intel call at the Dell conference, because it was the Dell spokesperson talking about this. using the power of this, as what Brett said before. So because you can have a more powerful Intel 8th gen processor in a Dell computer or Dell whatever,
run more hacks.
You can run more plugins. No, plugins, not hacks, plugins.
Oh, sorry, plugins, yeah.
Plugins.
Anyway,
well, I don't even know. Is this was in China, was it? They were promoting this? Or is this like... Okay. Well, I mean, they obviously know their market.
It was in Swashbuckler's Cove, where all the pirates hang out.
Could have been. Anyway,
Can you imagine that? Like a bunch of like criminals sort of hanging out. Criminals who play computer games.
It's just like just annoying because they're. Yeah. I'm just like paralyzed with rage, Chris.
I just know because in previous episodes you have spoken quite frequently about playing PUBG and just, you get as far as you can and then you just get absolutely dominated by someone else that just, takes advantage of plugins. And here they are as Dell, the Dell are coming out sort of promoting by having more power. You can run more plugins for games such as
but
PUBG.
I mean, it makes sense because half the, let's have a look at the Steam charts just quickly. Steam charts. So we look at the Steam charts. There is currently, fuck my internet. I can't even do it.
What's the point you're going to make?
Yeah.
No, I need to do it. Okay, so there's
make your point and I'll just make it up. That's what I do.
Okay, there's only 1.2 million people playing PUBG at the moment, which is I don't know, relatively small, but
fuck all, really.
It's still like more than any other game. But half of those players are Chinese. So I mean, you may as well. That's a pretty big market. You may as well appeal to them.
Well, of course.
Who's buying a Dell laptop for gaming anyway? They're not.
Yeah, that's
more
also
sort of like,
crazy.
I mean, I actually have a Dell laptop, but it's it's for business because I'm a man of business. Actually, Dell own Alienware. If you guys want to know that, so I wonder if it was something to do with that. Alienware.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm sure you heard of them. They're like really expensive, overpriced laptops that overheat and a shit.
They just have a funky looking alien head logo. Yeah, that
they have wicked LEDs on it, and you're like, oh, if this only was as powerful as how good it looks, it'd be sweet.
Yep,
they're really bad.
No, yeah, they're just overpriced, I think.
Actually, I wonder how many players have moved over to Fortnite now. Because you say 1.2 million are still in PUBG, but I wonder how many's in Fortnite. Because that continues to grow and grow and grow, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're.
I'm sure the hackers are part of the reason for that. Because I stopped playing PUBG because of the hackers. I was so sick of it.
Makes sense. On a happier note, did you guys ever play Stardew Valley?
I'm very depressed after hearing
On a happier note, everyone's like.
Have you ever played Stardew Valley?
Yes.
So no. What did you think of that, Brett?
It's pretty good. It's a bit like
very relaxing.
I could see, it's relaxing. I could see how
that would help your. That'll probably help your frustration right now if you got into a bit of a game of Stardew Valley.
Oh, I might have to play it after just to cheer me up because I'm so depressed.
Calm music.
I played it a little bit. I got quite bored by it actually.
Yeah, I got bored of it as well. But I know a lot of people love it.
Well, multiplayer's coming. So we can play it together and be bored together. So Chucklefish Chucklefish. That's the publisher or the publisher of Chucklefish.
I can't believe that exists.
What?
Chucklefish.
That's the name. The name Chucklefish.
It's a crazy name.
On April 11th, there was a tweet that came out by Concerned Ape, one of the developers over there at Chucklefish.
These are great names. Concerned Ape.
Concerned Ape message Chucklefish. That's wild.
That basically the multiplayer should be ready in about a month. So that was about a week ago. So hopefully in May we'll see, for any Stardew Valley fans out there, you'll be able to farm to your heart's content with your friend by your side. Isn't that nice? That's all I had on that. I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, but then what if
I quite enjoyed Stardew Valley.
Steals your like apples or whatever? You have to, I don't know, fight to the death.
Well, you can get
swords and shit. What if your friends from China? They'll have all the plugins and steal your farm.
They'll have all the plugins. Yeah.
Is it cooperative or is it like PvP?
I don't know.
Like, do you run around and just pour a load of poison on their,
I don't know.
plants?
I just know multiplayers.
I did that, Chris. I did that thing where I asked you a question,
Ask the question,
and answer to it.
Well, no, there isn't a lot of information that has come out at this point in terms of what is going to be the multiplayer. They're just saying it's coming, how it works, don't know, but I would imagine it's going to be along the same lines of being. I would say it's got to be cooperative. If I was to speculate, it's got to be.
If I was going to guess, I would say the following. Chris proceeds.
Imagine if it was like a full-on like death match and everyone gets guns and it's just like you're just like shooting each other and stuff. That'd be sweet. I'd play it if it was like that.
Need to play the Expendables then. Expendabros, sorry, not the Expendables. Expendabros. That'll do it for you. No farming, just guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Xbox, Microsoft, the console that keeps pushing our gaming generation forward, releasing
what marketing material are you
No
reading?
sarcasm.
No, this is just that's just my line. Releasing more remastered games. So as other consoles and PlayStation and PC move forward, we're going back to Elder Scrolls 3, Knights of the Old Republic 2, Jade Empire, and other shit I forgot to write down. So, but they're bringing back some more, as always, remastered games. They can't do it moving forward, so they continue to move backward with games. I wanted to bring this up because I'm a little
Are you editorializing there when you're saying they're just moving backwards?
Yeah, that's just me just saying shit. That's all that is. But when...
I don't know. Like, I know you're giving a hard time to backwards compatibility, or this isn't even that. This is re-releases, isn't it?
Remastering the games. Yeah, it's all the backwards compatibility.
I want to get a PlayStation 4, and I want to have access to all those PlayStation games that I've never played before. So, like, I recently got into Metal Gear Solid 5, and to actually play any of the Metal Gear Solid games, the best chance you've got is to buy a PlayStation 2, and there's a remastered version of the games on that. There's no real other way of playing those games anymore. So I don't really know if anyone needs to replay Jade Empire and what the fuck the other one was, but I don't know. Good games they should remaster.
Well, if anyone's got a PlayStation 2, they can mail to Michael.
Yes.
He'll definitely return it at some point.
No, it just seems like whenever you look at... I guess the PlayStation, or it was PlayStation 4 and PC, that there's continued to, I think push the boundaries and what we want to sort of see in our games. Xbox One attempt to do that. I mean, the best thing they had in the last,
they certainly pushed the boundaries in terms of microtransactions. They're definitely pushing the boundaries there.
But the best we got was sort of Sea of Thieves as their next thing for Microsoft, but then they just continue to focus on releasing or remastering all these old games without putting the effort into, new exclusive titles.
Harsh. I think they do have new games.
Like what? There was one of their big ones that was supposed to come out that was Xbox exclusive was Scalebound. That got scrapped. There was Forza?
More like Borza.
Yeah. I think that's a well name for it. I'm not into racing
Chris,
games.
Forza's pretty good.
Your line at the start of the episode was pretty good. That I'm as scarce as a
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves content.
Did you like that one? I
good.
thought that was
that was
pretty
quite good.
He worked on that all week.
I did. It took me.
It's quite good.
I've been waiting for you to come back to use that. So
fuck.
It's been a while.
What about they have other games like Gears of War?
What's that one? Oh, that's the one with the steroids, man.
Yeah, the steroids, man.
Yeah, the bodybuilders.
Yeah.
And like the guy Bender, who voices the main guy.
Is it?
And then what are these monsters? It's so lame, that game, actually. It's just like, what are they called? Grubs or something? And they're just like...
I can't remember. It's
just
fun.
like lizard zombies.
They're pretty fun.
Well...
Yeah, I can't remember now. But it's a fun game.
It was okay.
Yeah. I don't know about
They were
that.
the first one was sort of one of the first games to introduce like cover systems.
But that game, that was just about the graphics, really. I played that, and
the first one.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
I really liked
this
it.
looks
I was
so
like,
good.
This is sweet.
It's just the graphics.
I was actually so disappointed with the second Gears of War. I remember when I first played Gears of War, the very first one, and played it cooperatively with a mate, and there we were just sitting through it for hours on end, just on the same screen, just getting through it, finished it, and then eventually Gears of War 2 came out. Literally, we smashed it out in like 6 to 7 hours, and we were like, is that it? Is that done?
Oh, I finished it.
We just finished it. We just finished it so quickly, and we were expecting, obviously we were a lot younger at the time, so it was like, come over, we'll stay up all night, play fucking Gears of War 2, and then we got into it and like
pillow fight.
Fuck up.
we got it. Then we got into it. What exactly did you get into?
The game.
Yeah, and then they finish it, and they're like, well, we may as well do something else.
Shit. Walked into that.
What do you mean shit? What's wrong with that, Chris? There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it, Chris.
Jeez, Chris.
Nothing wrong with it. It's okay. You can come out to us. Totally fine. We don't mind.
This is a safe space, is it? It's private space.
Yeah.
There's nothing. You guys are... Sorry.
So, Gears of War... That sounds really good on audio. Gears of War 4, I did buy that and then I didn't finish it because I got bored of it. Just having said that.
Having said why? Why did you get bored of Gears of War? You're the one promoting here Gears of War 4.
No, I think the first 2 were pretty sweet, and 3 I can't even remember. And 4 I was just like, this kind of is the same thing over and over.
Mm-hmm.
All I was trying to do is be a counter to your point, but I've kind of talked myself into your position. Fuck right. Xbox and their fucking backwards bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm on your side now, Chris.
Cool, thanks. While we're still on Microsoft's point, so Sea of Thieves has come up a few times in the last couple of episodes. And one thing they have put up onto their website is, or in at least a video format, is what they're
finishing a game. We are including a game with this engine.
Yes. Over the summer months of the US, so starting in May, they're looking to roll out weekly events for that particular season. They're still really yet to release what that information is, but it seems to be something.
I've got some stuff here.
Do you? What have you got?
Yep. So weekly events, new mechanics.
I just said that.
Hang on. New way to play with factions, hidden treasure events, more functions in the underwater world, exclusive rewards, skeleton thrones. May, there's going to be the Hungering Deep with a new AI treat and new items. Summer, Cursed Sales, new AI treat.
I'm pretty sure you mean new AI threat, not treat. Just
It says treat. I'm just literally reading the...
Really?
It says treat.
I
think it is threat. You're right, actually. But it actually does say treat.
How embarrassing. AI
I like it to be a treat, an AI treat.
No, it's probably because it's rare, just so focused on making the kiddie colourful element. That's it's a treat to run into the AI.
Could be a treat.
AI
could be a treat.
Surely not.
No, that might mean that actually coming across some content is a treat.
Yeah, you just took the words out of my mouth. That was
some
exactly
AI.
what I was going to say.
What a treat. That's funny.
What else have they got coming?
Summer. By the way, this source is from Reddit, so I don't know how true it is. It could be just made up, especially considering it's treat instead of threat. Forsaken Shores, more AI treats, and new types of adventures, and then random surprising updates.
Surprising updates. How vague can you get?
I like. It says note all updates are completely free. It's well,
it better be because we paid for it.
Don't even say free. Just say they should have been in the game. I hate it when they update things and go, "Oh, we're giving to you this for free." No, we paid $100 for the fucking game. It's not free.
Well, you haven't.
It's just I haven't, but you have.
I have.
I'm standing up for you, Chris. Yeah.
I do want actually some good quality content to hit this game. I quite enjoy what they've designed and what they've built, but it could be an
amazing game for sure.
I actually think if that's what I think if you take No Man's Sky and you put did I say this last episode? Put No Man's Sky and Sea of Thieves together, then you've probably got a pretty decent game.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, I do, because when you look at No Man's Sky now, they've actually got a lot of building and actual content.
No, but they need content, they need stuff that's made by a person. None of this random shit.
No, there is shit that you can make. You can actually build bases now with
that's not what I mean.
like Subnautica. But
I don't mean it like that. I mean like content that's generated by people, not randomly generated or procedurally generated. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
it's authored content.
Yeah. You need that.
Like Subnautica, you have a storyline, and you have
there is a storyline in No Man's Sky.
No,
but it's all just fucking. You bump into random blobs, collect this boobang and then bring it to me, and then here's a Jujang, and now you can go closer to the big Bajuga in the sky. It's all nonsense.
I hate the Bajuga.
Bloody Bajugas. Fucking always in the way.
You know what I mean? What Brett's saying is you need some actual created content.
Authored is the word.
Yeah,
content.
That's actually of some value, not just random shit spat out by an algorithm.
Well, there's a lot more than what they used to be, and all I'm saying
more
is, if
random
you actually took the multiplayer,
You're not wrong there. There's heaps more random shit than it used to be.
the multiplayer crew element of what's in Sea of Thieves, combined with the size, scale, exploration, building.
Yeah, I guess maybe you're right there.
of
So it's like
No Man's Sky.
Like then if it's like multiplayer, and it's like okay, you get a crew together and you just don't stop playing, and you just constantly like grind through the randomly generated shit until you find something valuable. I don't know, maybe.
I mean,
maybe.
like if you think about Astroneer, Brett, when we've ever played that, all we're doing is digging for minerals. But because we're both in at the same time, just fucking around as a group, it makes it so much more fun. But at the end of the day, all you're doing is digging holes in the ground, looking for minerals, and building a little
that's
base.
like that game's like early access, and it isn't $100 either.
No,
That's the big difference.
Well, there is that. But
Because the thing with like Sea of Thieves is like I did for the first like 5 hours.
it was great.
I was like, this is fucking awesome. This game rules. And then you realize you're like, oh, hang on, I've done it all. And then you're like, oh, actually, it's not.
Because one of the things in No Man's Sky, it's been out for a little while now, and one of the previous updates is the ships that you can actually buy are when you go into space and you see those giant freighters turn up. I mean, these are massive ships. You can purchase those, and you can then fly those massive freighters around the systems. But the problem is, it's just you just can't bring friends on board and actually walk around together on this massive freighter and actually interact with the ship as a team, which is what you do in Sea of Thieves with the big galleons. And it's like you got people piloting it, people managing the cannons, people plugging holes, people chucking out water, people controlling the sails. You need that, but that in No Man's Sky. And I actually think No Man's Sky would be significantly better. But that's what I'm saying. Put those two together.
I don't know. I think in a year, maybe Sea of Thieves will be a sweet game when they've added like
The
lots
actual
of
game.
stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah.
When there's a game in there, might be good.
So, anyway. What else did I have? Sorry, I had a few other points here as well. For anyone that's actually interested, Destiny's 2 next expansion is coming out on the 8th of
not
May.
interested.
I can't remember if I bought a season pass.
What happened
So,
to that game?
You would have definitely.
I probably did buy it. Let me go
Chris, you would-
Destiny
you would
2.
have
Did
bought
I buy a... I'm just bringing up my game launcher for Destiny 2 to see. Oh, I need to restart it. Of course I do. I just want to see if I actually bought it. If I bought it, I'm going to play it, but I have no intention of actually buying it if I didn't. But I think if I got the first expansion, I probably do have the second one. So, but if you are interested, if you're still playing Destiny 2, Warmind, the next expansion is coming out the 8th of A. I think I was about to say.
Got it? Yeah, that's clear.
8th of A. There's actually censorship. So have you guys heard of a game called Agony?
Hang on, are you still talking about Destiny or what?
Yeah, well,
No, I
it's
moved
a
on.
weird segue.
Jesus, that was a bloody roller coaster.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did you hang on?
That's a hell of a segue.
Yeah.
I fell off on the
I was
last
just getting ready to talk about Destiny.
Oh, let's go back to Destiny. I'm more than happy to. I didn't hear much, so I'm sorry. Look, Destiny.
What's up with that game? What happened to
What's
it?
up? What's up with Destiny?
It was really good for a while.
Fuck,
Now it's not that
shit,
good
hang
anymore.
on. I've actually just realised I clicked the wrong button and hit play Destiny. Oh,
Oh yeah,
All right.
yeah. Not,
Do you,
not a lie at all. I bet. Not a
While
lie.
Chris sorts that out, have you played the game in the last, 4 months, Michael?
Nah, because it just kept on crashing, so I couldn't
all
actually
right,
play
I'm back.
Oh, well, that does ruin it.
it. Yeah.
I wonder if anyone plays it. I wonder if there's anyone playing now.
I really hope there's no chance of actually the background music for Destiny playing in my Audacity file when we actually come to
No,
edit.
it shouldn't be
It shouldn't?
because the source is just from your microphone.
All right, yeah, true, cool.
You could have actually done that without even letting anyone know. But
Probably,
now because you kept
but
talking
now-
about
but-
it.
Yeah.
but it would have
that's
made sense
interesting.
if you did hear it.
Unprofessional. That's why you're not on the radio, Chris, because you are unprofessional.
Oh, no.
Blatant cry for attention.
Sorry, Michael, you had questions about Destiny?
Well, it was just, does anyone play it, really?
No.
Yeah, I said that.
Do we need them? Do we need them?
Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Is there any point to Destiny, and can we exterminate it from the planet? Chris,
I don't know.
I'm asking you.
Yeah,
Oh, that
I'm
was-
asking Chris.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Probably it's time to move on. It's time to move on.
Maybe Destiny 3 will be good when that comes out, probably this
God.
year.
later this year.
Let's hope not.
They should go the
Literally
Sea of
wouldn't
Thieves.
surprise
They should go the Sea of Thieves route and just charge $100 for an unfinished game.
Just have
That's a
an
good route.
engine.
That's a good business model, really. Seemed to work.
They still... I'd like to see what the sales are, because I bet you a lot of... I'll get it, sales, Sea of Thieves. A lot of... I reckon a lot of people who bought it did it on the Game Pass, because that was like the smart way to do it. Only like idiots actually paid for it, and they're like stuck with it. But
didn't you need? You needed to download some sort of dodgy ass Microsoft like program.
No,
to use the Game Pass.
It was really easy to do. You just signed up, and then
the fact that it was so easy to do.
Just signed up. They take a sample of your DNA and blood, and you're all good.
Yeah, I just had to like sign my.
They're definitely not making zombies.
Now, the fact that Microsoft knew it was going to be so shit to start with, that's probably why they gave it away for free at the beginning, just to try and get people to actually buy it. Because they probably realized once the actual reviews come out, there's nothing to do. That's probably, well, let's give it to them for free, and then they can try it themselves.
I never trust them when they don't. They put like an embargo on the game, or they actually they don't give it to the reviewers early, which they did. So it was like the reviews didn't come out for a week after the game had been out. That's really scummy.
Oh yeah, instead of getting like the actual online community to review it and see what it's all like to encourage people to buy it. Yeah, no,
a lot of games they'll give the reviewers a copy early and let them play. I mean, obviously with this, I guess they needed the servers to be on and stuff, but I don't know. It just seemed a bit sketchy. It's like they're like, the game's shit. Don't give it to reviewers like until they have to buy it themselves because they're just going to slag it off, and that's exactly what happens. Even like IGN gave it a low rating, so that's saying like they probably still paid them $1 million and they still rated it low.
That's very surprising. What did IGN give them?
6 or 7.
Oh.
IGN, I reckon. Sea of Thieves.
That's a noisy keyboard.
A 6.5.
Who does that?
Oh no, they gave it a 7, which is ridiculous. That's too high.
That's too high.
But that's low for them.
That their 7 is like a 3 for like a normal reviewer. It actually says, the first thing it says, sailing the empty seas. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't, yeah.
They would have still had to pay a lot for that 7. But like, we can't... It's like you're asking us to review a game that basically doesn't exist. Like, you're really going to have to cough up for this one.
Well, once the new content comes out, I'll be sure to let you know. Because I'll give it a go since I've paid for it, so I might as well bloody fucking play it.
The problem is, like, when they do this, like... It's always the same. They're like, oh, all this extra stuff's coming. And they just never happen. Like, it never delivers in the way that you expect. Do you know what I mean? Like, games that have, like, potential, in inverted commas, it just never happens. It's just always disappointing. The whole thing's disappointing. And then everyone loses interest after a year or two anyway.
This whole new business model of here's part of a game, and we'll just to improve or increase the longevity of it, we're going to release you bits and pieces over the course of the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, it doesn't really work. They need to have a solid game at the start, and they can build on it. Not like, here's 30% of the game, and we'll give you some more later when we can be bothered. It's just, yeah. Wow. Sorry, I'm sounding like a salty old pirate.
That's pretty good.
Okay, Chris, you're the host.
All right, cool. All right, so move.
I love the dead air.
Back to my
that radio job. You're never getting it.
Brett delivers a stunning joke, literally, like, Chris is stunned.
Stunned.
He can't even talk. Lost his mind.
So there's a game that was going through Kickstarter, Agony. It's a if you haven't heard of it, it is a first-person survival horror game set in hell. Well, it's on Kickstarter at the moment. You can actually find it on...
I've not heard of this
Everyone's like, oh, Agony, yeah, I've been waiting for this to come out. I'm really
excited.
I've
not heard of this shitty Kickstarter game.
The world is talking about Agony at the moment. That's all everyone's talking about.
Well, that's why I said if you haven't heard of it, it's a first-person survival horror game set in hell, and there's actually some censorship going into it because of...
That sounds like the lamest game ever.
It's so original. It's like they just had no imagination.
All right.
What's scary? I don't know. Hell? Yeah, fuck it.
Hell.
Hell, dude.
Survival horror? Well, what could be more horrific than surviving in hell? Jesus.
That actually sounds alright, actually. Sorry.
No, it doesn't.
Sorry, Chris. Come on.
All right.
Brett, don't have a dummy spit. We're just having a laugh. It's
no, right. Okay. All right. No,
is your cousin making the game or something, Chris?
No. All right, whatever. Brett, let's move on to your game since...
No, tell us about...
Hang on, I wanted to know about Agony, the game, the original survival game that is really cool.
Nah, fuck
and
you
the
guys.
world's talking about.
Fuck you guys.
All right. Yeah, but now you're punishing all the listeners just for a joke.
Yeah, they want to hear about what was it? censorship or whatever.
Yeah, what's the censorship?
So the game is...
You can't censor hell. You can't censor the devil. That's crazy.
That's offensive. It's offensive to all religions.
I think what they're actually censoring for consoles, not PC, it is for consoles, that because of the gameplay within this particular horror game, it's meant to be very gruesome, grotesque. Things are in it that they feel are probably a bit too inappropriate for maybe a younger generation. So if you're on a console, they'll actually be censoring part of it. You still yet to see what they will be censoring. But if you are on PC, after it's released, they will be launching a patch that will give PC players the option to remove the censorship within it.
Why is it only on PC that you can remove the patch?
I don't know.
Or add the patch?
That's just what they're saying. Maybe, I don't know. Wouldn't have a clue. That's just what they've come out with. I think it's Mad Mind Studio. They're the developer. Have come out to sort of say this recently that with this game, censorship is going to be included. Yet to see what
ratings are for. Like, you know how they put a rating on a game to stop kids playing it? Well, not to stop them playing it. It doesn't stop them. But, you know, to release themselves of all liability.
You'd think so. You'd think that's what that's about. But, yeah, this one is. So, yeah. Brett. Long Dark. Yep. You have been playing.
No. Hang on. I got news as well. You take all the news.
Oh, okay.
Yep. EA. We haven't talked about EA. For a while.
Fuck! Hang on. What was the censorship about? I literally phased out of existence. What was the censorship?
Oh, you just have to listen back to the episode.
Listen back. They're just going to censor the game, and PC players can uncensor it. That's it.
Okay.
And they've never heard of ratings, apparently.
I started reading Project Gorgon and lost my mind. Sorry.
Okay, so EA says Battlefront 2's loot box controversy has been a learning experience. So let that sink in, as Tyler would say.
we can only...
they've cut the EA's Patrick Soderlund, I don't know who that is, has said the company's learned from those mistakes and promises to be better going forward. I'd be lying to you if I said that what happened with Battlefront and what's happened with everything surrounding loot boxes and these things haven't had an effect on EA as a company and an effect on us.
What is that effect?
On us
Loss
as
of
management.
Money?
Yeah, that was exactly.
Lost a little bit of money.
Are down. So it's kind of interesting. They're just saying they got it wrong and they want to learn from their mistakes and figure out other ways to rip people off. They don't actually say that, but that's what they. I think that's what they're getting at.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah. Yeah, we obviously can't rip you off that much.
Soderlund, or whatever his name is, says the loot box controversy has given EA the opportunity to reevaluate the mechanics around monetization and that they're serious about treating the players fair. Just sounds like, it's kind of hard to swallow, really.
Well, it's good to see that they're actually not blaming DICE anymore, because I think there was an article that came... Yeah, I think they were blaming DICE for the failure of it, because they were basically saying you didn't make a good enough game. And it's like, well, no.
DICE wanted us to put their loot boxes in.
Yeah, exactly.
It was their idea.
But no, very rare to see EA actually take some blame on that one. But
they've had to. A couple of times they also said when they removed the loot boxes from the game, they said they got it wrong as well. So they've kind of had to. But also, a bit of humble pie.
But also, the loot boxes are back very shortly. I think if only they're not back already.
Though. Only the cosmetics.
That's right. It is the cosmetics that is back. It is that they did get rid of the pay to win mechanic. So there you go. On an actual game news.
Yeah, I'm just reading the comments underneath it. It's like the first one's hard. Like, EA cares about the players. Fuck you, EA. So, yeah, that's what everyone thinks.
Pretty much. Anyway, EA, moving on. Long Dark. What is that? I've seen it on Steam. You've been playing it. Tell us, what
to be honest, it came out like 9 months ago, so this isn't exactly new cutting edge thing.
No, it's not. But you tend to find games like these indie type games on Steam. People may not be aware of it, and it's really a good opportunity to sort of get people into something that they enjoy.
How good are survival games? Because I just feel like there just aren't enough of them, and
they need to do more.
What I'm really looking, I'm looking for a survival game based in hell. If I'm being honest,
yeah,
I'm in real agony waiting for that to be released.
I've got the game for you.
So the Long Dark is actually came out in early access in 2014. It is a survival game, and I know there's like about 1 trillion of them on Steam. But the way this one is different is that it's you versus nature. So they do say it's not supposed to be totally realistic, but it does have that more realistic thing. So you can play it's actually got a story mode where you're in a plane that crashes, and then you basically you lose your friend, and you're just trying to get through the Canadian wilderness.
How do you lose your friend? Like he just goes missing, or like they die?
The plane crashes and you just wake up and there's like just wreckage everywhere, and you don't know where your friend is, and it's like there's kind of a mystery to follow.
Right.
So I can't really say too much, but there is actually a cool little storyline that leads you along, which is nice because it's also got an open world mode where there's about 6 different places and you can just go to them and just survive as long as possible. But having the story mode I quite like because it kind of keeps you propelled along.
So just there on the modes where you're talking about you just survive as long as possible, is there an end to that, or is it like literally you just survive as long as you can and then you just die?
It's till you die. So
that's pretty cool. So it's like permadeath, like roguelike, but survival.
Yes. Yeah, the Long Dark is, I think it's another word for death anyway.
It's a survival game, but you can't actually survive.
Well,
on the story mode you can.
Oh, the story mode,
So the gameplay is stated by developers to be a survival simulation that accounts for body temperature, caloric intake, hunger, thirst, fatigue, wind chill, wildlife, and a host of other environmental factors. So it did start out just with the sandbox mode, which I played for quite a few hours when it first came out. Since then, I've sort of reinstalled it and been playing the story mode, and the game is a lot more polished now since it's been released properly. It's just it's sort of relaxing in a really stressful way.
Okay,
but yeah, it's just it's
you
not.
Might die.
I like games that are different, and this is different in the way that it's literally you versus the cold. There are like wolves and bears and stuff like that. But yeah, obviously first person, you do a lot of looting and collecting of things, do crafting. You don't build bases or anything like that, but you do sort of need to take shelter in, caves, and you find like buildings and stuff like that, abandoned buildings. And you do, in the story mode, you do meet people along the way, and they have an interesting story to tell. So there is like a cool sort of narrative as well. And there is like a mystery, because it's like a post-apocalyptic world, so you're trying to work out what's happened. But it's not, it's not the typical, zombies coming after you survival. It's sort of more realistic than that. So yeah, I think it's really good. And if you want a survival game that's a little bit different, a little bit slower paced, I'd say give this a go.
How's it different to say, 7 Days to Die?
Okay, so 7 Days to Die is like a load of zombies running at you.
This one's not.
This isn't. This doesn't have zombies. It's you versus nature, like I said.
But you can't build bases, obviously. Is the
totally
crafting
different.
as in depth in that, or is it more like sort of
pick up some sticks and build a tent or something?
There is a lot of like you can make tea, and you can make all these different types of food, and the food sort of, there's lots of different types of food and clothing and stuff like that. You repair clothing. You get like the looting and crafting system is quite in depth, but it's not geared towards like making guns and stuff for your base, obviously, because you don't have a base. So it's more geared towards stuff that you can wear.
I like
it's a little bit more realistic.
The last sentence in the Long Dark's description on Steam.
Yep.
There are no zombies.
Yeah.
Only you, the cold, and all the
question.
threats Mother Nature can muster. So there you go. There are no zombies. It's in the description of the game.
The only thing that I think
mode, Brett?
no, I'm sort of going through it at the moment. There's actually going to be 5 chapters. So far they've only released 2. But I'm still going through the first one, which and I'm quite. So
why does this game get a free? Why does this game get a free pass on an unfinished game? But Sea of Thieves,
because it's
$100.
like it's cheap, and it's I've already spent like a lot more hours than I have on Sea of Thieves, and I'm only in the first chapter.
Accepted.
I mean, you say that you've got there's 2 chapters, there's 5 coming out. So the Long Dark at the moment is $35 US, so maybe like $45.
You get it on special though. You get it on special.
All right, cool. So you get it on special. Cool. So wait,
$20 for it.
I mean, with what's in it, is it worth the 45 Aussie dollars approximate?
possibly pushing it at that price.
It was on sale for like $8 the other weekend, which is useful for everyone who's got a time machine.
If you get it for $8, absolute bargain.
I mean, do we know, or is there any information around the future chapters that are coming out where they're just free DLC updates, or they'll continue to charge?
No, they're free. They're included.
Okay.
There's just the 2 released so far, but it's just taken them longer than they thought. But it has been. I actually, like I say, I bought it in like early access. I can't remember how much I paid for it. I think it was only $20 or something like that. And it's been quite successful. Like it's come out on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One as well, I believe. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of it's had quite a bit of success.
Well, it's got plenty of very positive, nearly just over 34,000 very positive reviews. That's the overall, which is pretty good. Lots of people seem to like it. There's a few people in the review comments saying that this may not be for everyone because of the slow nature of it.
I could see how some people like if you want a game where you've got like action-packed stuff going on, then you're not going to like it. It is slow paced, and you do need to take your time, and you need to be calculated. You even need to, like, the cold will kill you so fast. You need to calculate, how much wood you've got, and then get your fire going, and make sure if you're going to go out and get more wood, like, you need to time it because it gets colder at night and storms come in, and it's all sort of quite considered the way you play it. You can't just recklessly run around because you'll die very quickly. But it's not like a shooting game. It's not like 7 Days to Die where you've got stuff to kill really. You can do
How do you fight the wolves? I'm assuming you get attacked by wolves.
Yeah, the wolves are pretty cunty.
How do you fight them?
Oh, you can use a flare, or you can throw rocks at them. That sometimes works. Just
what about a spear? Can you use?
I think you can get it. Yeah, I haven't got up to a spear yet. I'm not that advanced.
Jesus.
I have my rocks, and that sometimes scares them off. But even in the, I've already died like quite a few times by wolves in the thing.
You know what I mean? When you die, is it is it a violent death?
Oh, they just rip you up. Actually, I did get, and you get like injuries you got to manage. So one might attack you, and then you can like stab it, and it will run off. But you've got a wolf bite to deal with, and you have to, dress the wound and clean it up, or it's going to get infected and stuff like that. So it kind of, it's like everything matters,
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. So it's another survival game. Plenty of them out there, but if you're interested in it, maybe chuck it on your wish list, chuck a follow, and maybe wait for it to on sale. Like, didn't sound like it'd be worth the full price that it's currently going for.
I think you could get a lot of time out of it. So if you're really into survival games, thing is, I'm not into survival games, and I'm into this one. If that sort of makes sense.
You like Sealand as well, though, don't you? You like Sealand too. Sealand? Underwater World. Underwater Survival
Subnautica.
Land? Yeah, that's
Subnautica.
Totally close.
Yeah, you
Sealand.
Like what the fuck? Well, you understood that, man.
You know that game, Sealand.
It took us a while.
I didn't actually. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? I do like Subnautica. Yeah.
So that's two of them that you like, and you like 7 Days to Die. So you more or less.
But you probably could. It doesn't sound like you.
I've got a good game suggestion for you. Agony. It's a survival horror game set in hell.
I don't think you could compare Subnautica to Long Dark by the sounds of it.
Very different. Very different.
Besides the fact that one's underwater and one's not, but there's a whole base building element.
Oh yeah, true.
Subnautica's set like in the future and like space technology and aliens and shit, whereas the Long Dark is like some wolves and like a guy with a stick. So it's kind of quite different.
Well, he doesn't have a stick yet. You haven't even made him a spear yet.
Sorry, he hasn't got a stick. He's got some rocks and he's got a crowbar. He's got a crowbar actually.
That's pretty advanced.
Well, I found it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did he make it? Because fair enough. But no.
I found it. I think I found it in a car.
Cool.
So, just to clarify, I mean, I can go through all the things I've got and where I found them. So I went into a cave and there was some like straw in there. I think I found some wood. There was like a rabbit that was running around. I threw a rock at that. I got the rabbit, killed that. There was a tree.
Did you have to like skin the rabbit so you can eat it?
Yeah. You have to actually, when you pick the rabbit up, you stun it with a rock. Then you hold it in your hand and like the rabbit's like squealing and it's like you got to choose whether you want to snap its neck or not. It's like pretty horrific.
What, you have to actually choose.
Like,
So is there like a choice mechanic in the actual game as well?
Yeah. It's like snap neck or let it go.
Well, okay, so outside of animals, what other sort of decisions have you had to make? Besides snapping rabbits.
That's
necks.
probably the most interesting one. Probably just got whether probably like it's I'm making it sound boring. Like, it's whether to go out and look for food or go to sleep and keep warm. That's quite a big decision. I've had to make that several times.
Do you have to actually make a decision to keep warm? Like there's an actual like sort of
no, there's no mechanic. No, there's
so you're just making that sort of conscious decision.
I'm
cold.
Decision,
okay, all right. So it's not on the same mechanic of snap the rabbit's neck.
No, that was one of the only sort of choice mechanics
that you've come across
that were in there.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we should move on. I feel like this is running out of steam, this section. It's just a hard game to sort of talk, and talk. It does kind of sound boring, but it's not. It's pretty fun.
This section's really gone dark in a very long way.
I get
Oh, Jesus.
I get it.
Well done.
There's a game here that I really want to buy that I just discovered at the start of the podcast. It's called Gorgon Project.
What's that?
Yeah. Is that EverQuest Mark II?
Well, it is actually. I've been looking at it a little bit during the episode.
Sorry.
I'll be honest, and it's meant to be like an old school MMO, just like EverQuest.
What is it? Project Gorgon? How do you spell that?
Yeah, Project Gorgon.
Is it on Steam?
It's got bad graphics like EverQuest, but apparently,
yeah, but
it's like
EverQuest
old school
graphics
like
were good
EverQuest.
when it came out. You got to remember that.
No, but this is
Yeah, but
sure.
that was good for its time. But you can't really say, the same graphics that come out 20 years later. You can't say it's still good.
It's got cool shit like if you sell stuff to the vendors, like other players can buy that, so you can like sell your old shit to vendors for other people to buy. That's a cool idea.
Oh, that's okay.
Anyway.
It seems kind of interesting, at least the base mechanics of actually having some sort of community interaction. If you're able to sell stuff and actually have someone else pick it up for you.
Did EverQuest have that? I think it did, didn't it?
Maybe. I'm not too
I remember
sure.
like people would randomly sell their shit and there'd be like weird stuff.
No, but is that just selling
like
stuff in like the
cheap.
trade chat or something like that in the text?
No,
rather
like
than
actually
actually.
No, you
To
could. Yeah,
vendors,
the
NPCs, and then it would be in their inventory to buy, I think.
Okay, well, I can't say. I never actually played. You're already buying it?
I probably will.
Oh, you probably will. I thought you already
Very
made the
soon.
decision to after realizing you could
I
sell stuff
will,
to
but
vendors.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a $50 refund to come back. So as soon as that comes back, I'll.
What's the game? What's the refund?
Final Fantasy 12 didn't work.
Oh,
So yeah, if
Didn't
you
work.
if you really like Final Fantasy and you've been waiting for a decade to play Final Fantasy 12, which was only released on the PlayStation 2.
if you go 50 years into the future,
Maybe buy the brand new, apparently allegedly updated version on Steam, and then wait for the 1 million gigabytes to download, and then find out the fucking thing doesn't work, so you too can refund it. That's my experience.
why-
from that game.
why doesn't it work?
We're buying refund again.
It just widescreen of death. It just widescreens. It's just like as a white screen.
I've noticed that's like a common theme with your computer and a lot of games. They just don't work properly.
Well, one that does work very well is Metal Gear 5. So, you do the maths.
Well, I'm doing the maths, and a lot of them don't work.
Well,
So,
what
what was the other game you were playing? Destiny 2. You said that didn't.
Oh,
That kept crashing all the time.
well, that actually started. This game doesn't even start. Well, it does start, but then it's just a white screen. It's crazy, huh?
Very crazy. Very crazy.
Well, that's,
there you go.
that's everything I wanted to add to today's episode.
Good contribution. Well done. Awesome. Well, that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else other than those news bits at the start, and I think that's it. That's all we got for this week.
It's too early to finish. We're only 49 in.
What
We
about
never finish early.
Well,
what about a quiz?
I haven't come up. Do you
I
want to
can
come up
make
with
one.
one?
I can make one
go
up.
on. Impromptu quiz.
All right.
The developer From Software
Fuck.
Dark Souls.
All right, hang
Dark Souls.
on. Wait. I know. I know.
Are these going to be questions about Metal Gear since that's all you've been playing for the last month?
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah,
I don't play that though,
yeah.
so I don't. That's not going to be fair. Chris is like an expert.
No, fuck off. No, I'm not.
Okay, I know. Survival quiz. Real world survival quiz.
All the
okay.
professionalism of this show.
How many liters of water a day do you need to survive in the
shit
middle
like
of the Saharan desert?
I don't know how this is a quiz result. I don't know how good this is going to be. Okay.
All right.
Go. Question 1.
I'm an expert now because I've been playing the Long Dark and all about survival. So
Oh, jeez, all right. So
Question 1. Are you ready? What is the what is the single most important thing you need to survive in the wild? Food.
Water.
Is this multiple choice?
Correct.
Yes.
Brett,
Okay, it's one to
you
me.
win.
What?
Yeah.
What was the rest of the multiple choice?
We're not going to do that anymore. You just need to provide the answer. Okay. What do lush vegetation and swarming insects often indicate?
Chris.
Water.
Are we always...
Chris,
Do you have to say our name first?
Yeah.
What?
So Chris, you can
Okay.
try first.
All right.
I'm going to say mildew.
Mildew. I don't know. Too specific.
Mildew.
I thought that was pretty
was mildew.
specific.
Too specific.
Is that moss or mold? What is mildew?
Yeah, it's like...
Mildew is like dew, isn't it? Like morning dew. Is it or
No,
not?
I think it's like moss. I think it's
It's like moss with
No, I
mold.
think
It's like damp moss that
yeah, it's
attracts
a form of fungus.
insects. It's basically what you
Oh,
said.
maybe that's not bad then. Actually, might be right. Is he right?
No,
I thought
it's like mold. It's like mold. It's like mold.
Basically the same thing.
Jesus. Okay,
I was-
Brett, do you want to?
Oh, so I get a shot at the. Okay, so it's not that. What was it?
No, it's not
Vegetation and
mildew.
buzzing insects.
Swarming insects. I don't know if that's different to buzzing, but maybe swarming.
Swarming. Okay.
You'd think they would be buzzing.
It indicates like a swamp, some sort of
What's
swamp,
in
like-
swamp normally?
like water in a swamp. I said water originally.
Correct answer. Water.
Ah, yes, nice.
Brett's on 2.
Good. That's 2.
I think you're just making this shit up as you go along.
Okay.
No.
Why should
Water-
you melt
the answer's
snow
always
or
water.
ice?
Oh yeah.
What was the question?
Why should you melt snow or ice before drinking it? Why should you melt snow or ice before
Brett.
drinking it?
Brett.
Okay, Brett.
Because it will lower your body temperature too much.
No.
I'm going to take a guess and say that when it solidifies into snow, it's holding on to dirt and bacteria from the environment, and when it actually melts, it runs away.
Yeah.
Bacteria runs away. No. Incorrect. It runs away.
What's the answer?
Bacteria hates warm weather.
What's the answer?
I don't know, actually.
What?
To avoid dehydration.
What? That doesn't make sense. It's like, what do you mean?
Oh shit, Brett, you were right. Sorry, Brett. Okay, so
Thank
there was
you.
it's a multiple choice, and it says
There's a multiple choice.
yeah. So okay, well, guys, I prepared this in 1 second, so give me a break. So it's basically 3. Question 3 is: would you melt snow or ice before drinking it? The answers were to avoid cutting your mouth on sharp ice, to avoid brain freeze, or to avoid dehydration. I clicked to avoid cutting your mouth on sharp ice, which I thought was a good idea. But apparently, wrong answer. It's to avoid dehydration. Eating frozen snow.
But that's
and ice
not what
will
Brett said.
Listen.
Yeah.
Eating frozen snow and ice will reduce your core body temperature and lead to dehydration.
Thank you so much.
Well done, Brett.
Thank you. So that's 3.
If you're facing the sun at noon in the northern hemisphere, walking towards
Yeah.
it will take you in what direction?
What? When it's in northern hemisphere
If
and you're
facing the sun at noon in the northern hemisphere, walking towards it, it'll take you in what direction?
noon would be directly up.
Wrong. He said in the northern hemisphere.
Yeah,
Chris.
yeah.
Look. Come on.
No one's actually said their name yet, so the buzzer's not been buzzed.
Brett.
Okay, Brett.
I know it is a direction, and I think it's. I believe it would be south.
Correct.
Yes.
Well done,
you.
Brett. I know who I'm
Thank you.
going to get lost in the
This is all from the
wilderness
Long
with.
Dark. All this is in there.
Is it really?
No.
Okay. That would be a pretty good ad that it actually helps you survive.
It actually says, like, it actually has a disclaimer at the start of the game. It's like, do not take this as a survival guide because you will die. But it feels realistic, though.
Yeah.
Like, you have to melt... Actually, you do have to melt snow in the game, but it doesn't say why. You just have to. You can't eat the ice, the snow.
Is it so you can drink it?
Yeah.
So then that would be definitely not a sort of sound piece of advice to use the Long Dark as a survival. As we've discovered, melting ice is not good for your hydration.
No, it is. You're not supposed to eat... You didn't even listen, Chris.
No,
You're not
I'm not
supposed
listening.
to eat snow.
I wasn't listening.
You don't eat snow.
You didn't even listen. Jeez. All right, Chris might be able to get this one.
Oh,
Which of the following does not provide clues to help orient you towards true north? Which of the following does not provide clues to help orient you towards true north? I suppose which of the following does not? I need to read these answers. Moss, anthills, and wind speed.
Does not.
It does not. If you
What
want
was
to
it?
answer
Was
your
it moss and what?
I know what it would
anthills
be.
and wind speed?
Oh,
I'll let you answer this one, Chris.
I feel like, Chris, you want to say moss because of your mildew.
My mildew.
Yeah. Is it some sort of mildew?
I'm going to say B, anthills.
Wrong answer.
It's wind speed.
Well done, Brad. This
just-
is actually
that's just
quite
logic.
interesting.
Well, I don't think it's logic. I think it's just
Yes, it is.
scientific.
No.
It is.
Listen. This is actually quite good information for all the
Okay, yeah.
listeners. So while not precise directional guides, moss on trees and anthills can help you figure out what direction you're facing. In the northern hemisphere, moss on the north side of trees will often be thicker because the side is shadier. Ants often build their nests on the south or southern side of trees where it's warmer. That is a good tip. That is a very good tip.
There you
go. If you're in the northern... So swing that around you when you're in the southern hemisphere. Is that right,
Well,
Brett?
yeah, maybe.
Is that what you do?
Well, it would have to
Well,
make.
yeah, you would, yeah. It's because if you use logic, there's only the two of those were like living things that would respond to the sun. That was the logic I used. That, but the wind, obviously, the wind is from the sun as well. But it's not going to be directional. You know.
Good, very good logic. Okay, how do you know when the bright side of the moon is in the west?
Ugh. Bright side of the moon. Bright side of what?
I don't know how that would help you survive.
I don't even understand the question. Like, what-
How do you know when the bright side
Me.
of the moon is in the west? I don't know what the fuck
you can just
that
look
means.
at it. It's there. Like,
No, but obviously,
is this if
Okay,
you
well,
don't know
I'll
which
read you
way
the
west is?
options. I'll read you the
we don't
options
know.
then.
We don't know what way west is. I assume it.
I'm going to say it's on the right side.
Okay,
just the right
that's not
side
an
of
option.
everything.
So just
All right,
So
okay.
when the moon is full, when the moon rises before sunset, or when the moon rises after midnight.
Okay,
So my answer was way off.
so it'll be in the west in those situations. Will it?
No, well, isn't it saying it? What was the question?
Kind of
Sorry, someone.
No, assuming
where's it
those situations you were talking about,
This
it will be in the
this
west.
is like fucking. I don't know how astrophysics helps you survive in the woods, but okay. How do you know when the bright side of the moon is in the west? When the moon is full, when the moon rises before sunset, or when the moon rises after midnight?
yeah.
The hell
Yeah.
does that even mean? Which
So,
one
so
is
you
it?
can, it's obviously so you can identify
Well, it's all-
which direction that you're actually facing, either west or east.
It's saying only those things can happen.
When
It has to be in the west if those things happen.
I guess. I mean,
Well, hang on.
I
So
don't
the
know.
full moon is always to the west.
I have no idea. I've
Or
clearly
is it
been
all
let down
three
in
of
my
those
fucking
occurring,
education
or is it
because
just
I
one
don't
of
know.
those?
well, no,
anything
hang on.
about
What was the third option?
when the moon rises after midnight?
When the
When does the
moon.
moon when does it rise after midnight? I don't know anything about the moon.
No, it does. It does.
I'm pretty sure. Well, so the sun sets in the west. Sun raises in the east.
Raises.
What
What's
did
it got to do with the moon?
Well, because the moon's
Ah.
generally. Yeah, I'm just trying to use the sun as a particular guide to sort of figure out which way the moon's. This
Well,
is,
the moon's independently. of
This
the
one's
sun,
worth
so-
this
No, I'm
one's
just-
worth double points. This one's worth double points.
but I'm like 5 points behind.
Well, it's worth double points.
So it's
worth like
so the options were full moon, raise
When the moon is full.
When the moon's
I don't know
full.
if that's
Let's move on
different.
from that question because it's just...
I don't know if that's different to a full moon when the moon is full. I don't know.
Let's just move on to the next question.
Well, let Chris have a chance at double points.
I'm going to say the second option,
Okay.
which was that one.
Damn, you got it.
Did I?
Yep. So
That's
when
not
the
fair.
Yes, it is. When the moon rises before sunset, the bright side is in the west. It rises after midnight. Its eastern side.
What do you mean the bright side is in the... What do you mean the bright side?
Oh,
I don't know. I didn't
because
write
the
this
sun
question.
because the sun will rise on the east, so therefore generally if the moon's on the other side, that's where the bright side because the sun is lighting that side of the moon.
Could be. So,
If-
Chris,
if-
you're on 2, Mr. Moon Man. Mr. Moon Man Mildew. You're on 2 points, and Brett, you're on 4 or 5?
5.
All right, last question, double or nothing, because this will put me. I don't know.
Okay.
Will I
Why
lose?
should
Still
you
one
try to
behind me.
avoid... No, I think it goes to 10, so we may as well go to 10 with a couple of chances for more double points.
Just keep going. Let's go all
Why,
night.
why should you try to avoid sleeping directly on the ground?
Brett.
I think I know
Bad
the
for
answer
your
to this.
back.
Okay, go for it, Brett. What do you think?
Well, there's probably loads of reasons.
Yeah, well, what's the main one?
What's the one that's written
wants
down there?
Yeah, what's the one that the quiz wants you to say?
Ant attack.
Okay. Incorrect. I put your answer is there is an option to avoid bugs. So I'll take
You
that.
got to give the options.
No, I
jumped in too
don't. No,
early.
not on an easy one like that. All right, Chris.
So the question was why you shouldn't be lying on the ground.
Yeah, why should you not sleep directly on the ground?
Because the bed's more comfier.
No,
It's not going to be that survival situation.
bed's more comfier. You
I
don't have
prefer
a bed.
mattress.
Think about it.
No, he's only had one. Why don't you give us the options and then I'll have it go first?
Okay. Well, the options currently are to eliminate the risk of contracting disease or
Right.
to keep from losing body heat.
Oh, it's the body heat one.
Yeah, I'm not going to give anyone
Yeah.
that one.
All right.
It's a good
Fair
idea to build your shelter near what? one of these options are,
Like these
are very
sort
funny.
of could be like loads of different answers to that. That
Near
could be right.
civilization, near a hospital, near civilization, near your house.
Yeah, inside your bedroom. Could we have the options?
Yeah, so
Well,
options.
I don't know. I feel like
Because I feel like there could be lots of correct answers to that
okay.
otherwise.
Well, what's the most correct answer?
A campfire.
Like of all the things.
Build a
I would
fire.
assume
You want
your-
to?
I would assume your shelter would include like you building a fire. You
Oh,
wouldn't-
that I was okay. To me, a shelter was like a tent.
Yeah, but you wouldn't. Okay, here's my shelter, and then I'm gonna wander off a kilometer and then build my fire. Like,
Right.
I feel like your fireplace is gonna be next to your. So I'm
Just like default, basically, we know that.
yeah.
I don't know. Near a set of trees,
want
so
the
you can.
options?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good
Hey, Chris,
options.
you haven't said the browser, so I'm gonna not. take
Chris.
that. Well, don't say the thing you just said.
Okay. Chris.
Yeah. Okay. What's your answer?
No, I said because you said not to say the thing I was going to
Chris.
say.
Okay.
Sorry,
You can't do
Chris.
You can't do
Oh,
You have to give an
he
answer.
has. No, he didn't need to because he never called his name out, so I never counted anyway. And I know that for a fact because I've been done in the past where I gave the correct answer wasn't counted. So
Still salty about that.
yeah, clearly. Okay, here's the options. Be quiet so you can hear. Cliffs, dry riverbeds, or a water source.
Brett,
Yeah,
water source?
you reckon? Yes,
That's fucking
correct.
dumb.
Yeah, I mean,
cliff. It's like put it,
it's a good idea to build near a cliff. That's insane.
it's a good idea
Why-
to build it on top of a fire. That would be good.
All right,
In a bear's cave.
all right. If you're looking for insects to eat, which ones should you avoid?
Ones that will kill you.
Well, you don't know that, so you need to think of the signifier that might give you a
bright
clue.
colours. Bright colours.
Okay,
bright
Brett.
colours.
Correct.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah. Thank you. Nice.
last question. Triple points.
Okay.
Which of the following isn't a method used to start a fire without a match? Okay, so here's your options. The soda can and chocolate method, the battery method,
We all
the
know
animal dung method.
I'd probably say Chris, battery.
The battery method? Wrong
I feel-
answer.
I don't know what the battery. It sounds like something that would explode.
What was it? Chocolate soda? Is that?
Yeah.
And what animal? It's probably the soda one. Let's see.
No, incorrect. The correct answer is the animal dung method. You can use a magnifying lens. What? A battery, a magnifying lens, and even a soda can with chocolate can be used to... What the fuck are they talking about? A magnifying
I
glass
have
then?
no idea.
Well, you can use a magnifying glass. We know that.
Yeah, but that's not one of the options. Okay, using the simple snare, how should you measure the size of the noose?
Put it around your neck.
Chris?
I think it's quite obvious and clear that if you're stuck in the woods with me, you're going to die. So,
Oh, this is quite funny. This is the options here.
Oh, there's
So
options. You can't ask me for the answer when there's options.
Double the size of the animal's foot, the size of the animal's head, or 1.5 times the size of the animal's head.
How the fuck do you know how big the animal's head is?
Well, I assume you
haven't caught it yet.
You're picking a target. Like you need to pick a target.
So
I want a rabbit
So-
or a fox or a
roughly.
Double the size of the what? The animal's foot.
foot, the size of
Neck,
its head,
head.
or 1.5 times the size of the head. There's no mention of neck.
Head. Yeah, close enough.
Well, no, they're two different parts of the body, actually.
No, but generally, if it's going to go round, you want it to go round its head, so it nooses around the neck. Because you don't want it to be the size of the neck, because then you can't get it over the head, and therefore you can't strangle it. So you'd want it the size of the head so you can get around its neck. Anyway, I don't know. So option C, 1.5.
1.5. Okay. 1.5.
I think it's probably the end of the quiz, is it?
I think you
feel like this is
Correct
dragging on now.
answer. Whoa, Chris. All right. So Brett wins. Brett wins. Well done.
Brett survives a
I've
little
got
bit
more,
more.
Master.
I've got
You
more, but I'm
survived
happy to stop.
No, I think we're happy to stop. So Brett survives
That
about
was
5
good though.
minutes longer than me.
We should always do random quizzes on totally irrelevant subjects.
No, it wasn't.
I
It
mean,
was the
it's-
long dark quiz.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
No,
So
I
we
can see
do a
the
quiz
thing.
on the sort of whatever the game is that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And do a quiz related to it.
I can't
don't
wait
know
for
if that
agony.
was-
I can't wait for
was
agony
fun
so
to-
we can... It'll be all about hell.
Like, when you're being tortured, when your toenails are being pulled off,
When you're about to
Which of the
censored.
following options are you going to use to get out of it?
when you're
Anyway.
being censored in hell, do you A, yell at someone on the internet?
Well, look, if you have managed to survive this long, I don't know how, but if you
Oh,
have, thank you.
good one.
That's all we have for this week. If you did enjoy it, please jump onto Facebook and let us know. Jump on Twitter and all that stuff, as well as leave us a review on iTunes. But until next time, we will catch you in the next episode. Thank you.
Bye.
See ya. Do I press... When do we press stop? When do we press...